like to ask is, what type of being would ask a person to make a decision without actually revealing themselves who they are? What they are, what their intentions are, what their goals are, what their final goal is, as a matter of fact. Well, it doesn't make any sense that someone would do something like that unless they want you to believe something that isn't true. Now, let's say that you're going to build a vehicle and you don't have any knowledge or experience in doing so. You have a friend who claims that he already built one, and the caveat here is that the vehicle got stolen and there's no way to verify whether or not it worked or if he built it right, or even if he did build one. But you also have another option, which is you have the manual that came directly from the manufacturer. Now, what you can do there is you can verify your friend's knowledge on that by using that manual and seeing if that's the way you do build a vehicle. What you can't do is when we come to the apologists, where they claim, you have to have some sort of evidence of a creator or something like that. And that would be, they claim that they have this manual, and they say that it's from the manufacturer, but there's really nothing that could really verify that is the case, because it's an unclear, it's wide open for interpretation, it's full of contradictions, written 2,000 years ago by just as fallible humans as we are, as the clerics and apologists are of today. And all this time, they've been let's put it this way, they were a barbaric culture, they were superstitious, and demonstrably ignorant of the way the things in the universe worked, including vehicles, so I don't even think they could build a vehicle. But you got warnings in there that warn you to follow that straight and narrow path, or build that vehicle the right way, or you're going to burn in hell forever. Nobody does that. At least that kind of kicks in the face of an omnibenevolent being, doesn't it? Created you just to watch you burn. Nice guy. Now, if you really get down to it, these are not pious people. They are the people that started building a vehicle without confirming it in the manual. And they just listened to someone. They heard it from someone or read it in that book. But that book is about someone that wrote it down, claiming to have it, not really proving it. You can't really prove it. You just can't. Sorry. Now what you have with the so-called spiritual leaders is just a claim that they are making. They claim they know how to build a vehicle. But the vehicle got stolen. It's unfalsifiable. You can't really verify it. So we just got to take their word for it. No matter what they say, it's them saying it. It's not God's word coming down there. Remember, that is what they are saying, that it is God's word, but it's really them. Why do I say that? Because it is them. They're reading that book and believing that it's true without any evidence. How do we prove that how do they prove that they're actually talking to God? They never do, they never will, they never have. Now, people that claim to have this connection to God, that they can hear and interpret his message, am I supposed to believe them? Are you supposed to? Is that what we're down to? Because that's all we ever have had. Is we're just supposed to take their word for it and believe them. And what they also want you to believe is that he is the one making the claims, not them. That this is the infallible word of this God. Well, of course, the theists will try to say that it's, some free will thing, or maybe you haven't clicked your heels together the right amount of times. But, by what method do we use to decide whether or not they have a connection to God? Can we even test that? Perhaps we can in some ways, but then their Bible also says that they have to not test their God, which is strange, because that just puts a big black eye into the scientific method there from a religious point of view, doesn't it? I can't test this being to see if it's real. But sorry, should I believe this person? I don't think I should. This being is claimed to be omnipotent, omnipresent, and omnibenevolent. This, for lack of a better phrase, is a married bachelor. It's impossible, by definition, for anyone to be all three of these without throwing logic out the window. Don't the theists know that Epicurus addressed these contradictions long ago? But no, they just keep on pushing it. This is falling flat on the face of magic and faith. Faith alone is not a good method for making decisions. The theist will try to redefine faith so that it's more like faith in your spouse not cheating. But the problem with that is, well, we have evidence on there, so it's more of a confidence thing. It's not a faith-based thing. But in fact, the way believers define the word, it isn't even worth considering at all. The apologist may also try to shoehorn anecdotal experiences into their argument. All the apologist has is hearsay evidence. Those that do claim to have direct connection to God should probably seek psychiatric help.